right.
Yeah.
Yo. Let's go. It's the Great Debate Show, and we're back. Better than ever, baby. With your hosts, Jarvis Jeffries, Terrence Smith, Nick Ely.
What's happening?
We're in the building. Nick still sounds like it's the day after the Super Bowl, doesn't he? Man, that was so dry.
It's in the past, bro. Everybody, how we doing?
That is
there we go.
Yeah. There we go. Hello. Good morning.
Like a Nick Ely is ready for the NFL draft as opposed to it.
Right. Grand ride, everyone. Kings and queens.
We got two first rounders, one in the top 10. Yeah, man.
One in the top 10. That is great. That's good. The Eagles and the Chiefs are in good situation. They're in good position to.
Shout out to the Saints, man.
Shout out to the Saints. Yeah. All right, guys. We got so much to talk about. Derek Carr meeting with the Jets. We'll get into that. Is he a good fit with the New York Jets? Also, we'll also talk about scouts who are saying that Ezekiel Elliott, that is, has just a little left. And a Cowboy release could be coming pretty soon, a release from the Cowboys. Also, just so much more to talk about in the NBA. Russell Westbrook is now a Los Angeles Clipper, and he found his way back home to LA. What a surprise, and good for Russell Westbrook. Also, the Hawks, they've dismissed the head coach, or former head coach now, that is, Nate McMillan. The Atlanta Hawks has fired Nate McMillan. That was some breaking news from a little earlier. And Jimmy Garoppolo, where is he going to go? Derek Carr, where is he going to go? We'll talk about all of that. Lamar Jackson to the Atlanta Falcons. Could that actually happen in a trade? We'll talk about it. Terrence says no. We'll also talk about Jalen Hurts' contract real briefly. We will get into, hey, what will happen if he signs 50 per or whatever the contract is going to be? Not that he doesn't deserve it, but we know when we pay the quarterback and you don't have that Super Bowl chip already, it's going to be hard to get that Super Bowl chip because, hey, man, somebody's going to leave in free agency because everyone can't stay when you're paying the quarterback that type of a salary. And again, he deserves every penny of it that he will get if he gets it. But we just want to discuss what this will do to the Eagles roster. Nick, I'm sure, can tell us how many players are returning in 2023 and whatnot on both sides of the ball. And that's pretty much it, but a lot to get into. Oh, also, we got an interesting debate for you. Ja Morant or Zion Williamson. Which one would win in a dunking contest during All-Star weekend? Will we finally get that next year? Who knows? If Zion is healthy enough to make it to the show, maybe we will. I am going to talk about Zion Williamson later in the show. I have a strong take on him yet again, and I'll explain why he is the cause for the All-Star weekend being, in my opinion, pretty lackluster. I mean, I don't have much to say about it. We didn't really catch much of it, but from what we know and hear and have seen, we haven't missed much of it. And I'm blaming Zion for that. All right. I think I pretty much covered most of what we're going to be discussing today. Maybe, if not, Nick will definitely fill us in. And Jokic, MVP talks again for a third year in a row. But our question will be, hey, does he have to win a championship now, though? Or will it mean anything if he doesn't? All right, so let's get into it. We're going to start off. Nick, what you want to start off with? Which one of these segments would you like to start with? Since you kind of, produced most of this.
Let's go ahead. Let's get the football out the way. I think we should probably be in more basketball-centric episode.
Yeah.
We other side of the All-Star break, Super Bowl's over. We really got to start turning the page to that. So we'll get the football out of the way.
Okay.
And we can talk quickly about Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo and Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson. I guess really even factors into this to some extent, if depending on what the Raiders are going to do there.
Right. Okay. All right. So we'll start with the football, and first, then let's go right into what I was speaking on earlier. There was a report coming from the Jets that says that somebody said Carr has Hall of Fame potential. It says that first ballot is what was said to what was told to Derek Carr. The Jets told Derek Carr that a Super Bowl win in New York is his ticket to Canton. Let's start with Terrence here. Look, first of all, let me say the Jets are a team that is maybe not completely just a quarterback away, but they're kind of just a quarterback away. The defense is solid. They've got more talent on that offense, young, raw talent on rookie contracts, might I add, that you really can't really tell because Zach Wilson was their quarterback, and then it was the other guy he looked like he was serviceable, but then no. So Mike White, yeah, and Joe Flacco. So again, if you add a good quarterback to this team now, they're definitely a playoff team, and I don't know, they could be a Super Bowl contender depending on who their quarterback is. Some people think that's Aaron Rodgers, but Terrence, Derek Carr, could he actually do this? Could he win a Super Bowl for the Jets? And then would you put him in Canton if he done that?
I definitely think he can. I don't think that he will, but he definitely can. I mean, the thing about Derek Carr is that he doesn't have to go over there and be great. I think that defense, if it's anything like it was this year, which theoretically it should be better, they had a lot of young players. Sauce Gardner might be the best corner in the league, and it was his first year.
Man, what?
They had the offensive rookie of the year. He got hurt. He should be back. So that team should get better just because the players should be a year older. So he doesn't have to go over there and be great. He just has to go over there and be good, which for the most part, he's been good his whole career. That's my problem. I don't think outside of maybe one season, he's never been considered by me anyway a great quarterback. So one Super Bowl win is going to get him a championship. It's going to get him a Hall of Fame jacket. So we're just going to throw Trent Dilfer in the Hall of Fame as well. It's Brad Johnson in the Hall of Fame. Now, is he a little bit better than those guys? Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I think that to him. He's a little better than those guys. But but the margin is not enough for me to say, all right, one championship for a terrible franchise puts you in the Hall of Fame. For me, it doesn't work that way.
At what point in their careers were Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer considered top 10 quarterbacks?
We'll consider Derek Carr top 10 right now?
I don't know if he is right now. He's in the conversation. If I named him out, I might have him at 10.
He'd probably be right at 10 for me.
He'd be right at 10.
I mean, there's a handful of.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Anything like that for Brad Johnson.
But to me, at some point, to be considered for the Hall of Fame, you need to be at least top 5, right? Like for a period of time.
Yeah. I like that too. Yeah.
Like for me, Russell Wilson already has a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah. Right.
Mahomes clearly does.
Yes.
I could probably think of a couple others, but Stafford to me has a Hall of Fame career.
Okay, well, wait a minute now. Hold on. That is kind of that's kind of close to what Derek Carr would be doing in one Super Bowl. That's just one Super Bowl for Stafford. He had to go to the Rams to get it.
But the numbers he put up in Detroit, man.
Okay, what does Derek Carr numbers look like in Oakland? I mean, I know they're not as good as Stafford's, but I mean he didn't play with a lot of talent his entire career so far with the Raiders. The 2016 year with Crabtree and James Jones.
Is that the year he got hurt?
He got hurt right before the postseason. Yes, he did.
That's right. I remember that.
That was the best season he had, I think. And as far as a talent standpoint, those were B receivers, no doubt about it. But they were good B receivers. They were serviceable. They were efficient. They got you some type of production. So
and just even was it this year when Ruggs had the accident? Was it last year?
Russell?
Ruggs.
Oh yeah, that was last season.
It's been 2 seasons already.
It has.
But yeah,
I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that.
I'm not saying it's all his fault. Who knows what they would have been like if they've been able to keep Henry Ruggs over there and just got him a little bit better talent. But to me, he doesn't have the body of work to say, hey, you can go to the Jets and win a championship. And Hall of Fame, like
right.
You
got a point.
Two of them. Okay. Here's a comparison. Eli. If Eli only wins that first Super Bowl, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Right. No, I can agree with that because the career, those are better careers that you can match as far as regular season numbers, stats. Eli never put up a ton of numbers, so I can give you that. I can give you that. But that's a better comparison.
We know what he did in the big games, and he won 2 of those things. And that's
and that's why he'll be a HOFer. Yeah, for that reason. Nick, what do you think? Is he a Hall of Famer if he wins this? And again, what he's basically saying, whoever said this in the Jets organization, they're basically saying that he would be what LeBron James is to Cleveland if he could pull this off. I'm just saying. Now is that Hall of Fame worthy?
I actually agree with T in that for me, you got to be top 5 at your position. You got to be damn near unquestionably top 5 at your position for at least 5 years. And so, as you said, Patrick Mahomes, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Y'all can fight me in the comments if y'all want to. Patrick Mahomes is a Hall of Famer, and he's damn near top 5 all time today. Argue with your mama. Eli was an interesting one for me, and I do agree that the second Super Bowl cinches it for him because if he only has the one, it gets iffy. I mean, he might get in because he's a Manning, so he probably would have got in anyways. But it gets iffy. I don't know if you really want to call him first ballot if he can get the second one. So I do agree with you there. I don't think that. I say all that to say I don't think that one Super Bowl as a Jet would get Derek Carr into the Hall of Fame, especially that first ballot. Not for me. Depending on how long he plays there, if he's able to keep the Jets in a divisional or conference championship game, or maybe to go to a second Super Bowl while he's there, even if he doesn't win it, if he runs up the numbers statistically to where it adds up, then maybe we have a conversation. I mean, if he turns into the Jets starter for the next 8 years and goes to 2 Super Bowls and wins one, and goes to 4 AFC championship games and throws for another 30,000 yards. All right, maybe we're having a conversation here. And that's wild to say out loud, but that's essentially what it would have to look like for him. If it comes short of that, I don't see Derek Carr in the Hall of Fame. But I could see him making the Jets a very dangerous team in the very near future.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we're gonna move on, but is he gonna be a Jet or somebody else is gonna be the Jets quarterback? I mean, after making a statement like that, you would think he's a Jet, but they're still waiting on Aaron Rodgers. They're still trying to see what's up with that. They're kicking the tires on Jimmy, I think. Garoppolo, that is. So, will he be a Jet?
Here's the thing, right? Maybe although the Jets could try to cash it all in now and say, hey, let's put it all in for Aaron Rodgers. You only looking at that for what? I mean, do you really think Aaron Rodgers? Right? You think Aaron Rodgers is going to do a Tom Brady and hang around until he's 45? I don't see Aaron Rodgers being that guy. I think you're looking at 2 years of Aaron Rodgers that could potentially still be the Aaron Rodgers that we've known for the last decade some change. And then after that, he's either not the same guy or he's at home entirely. That
all depends on how good they think that team is and how ready they think they are for that Super Bowl window.
That's the thing. Derek Carr is younger. He's a quarterback that he's younger, but he is a veteran. He's got a lot of experience, so he can help bring those guys along and resurrect his own career. And build something there, and they can have that for 4, 5, 6 years. You know what I'm saying?
And they don't have to give up as much to get him.
And they don't have to give anything to get him.
Nothing. Yeah.
So,
But he's Derek Carr. I hear what you're saying, Nick. But he's Derek Carr. He's average. That's.
Maybe they look at it and say, hey, they look at it from an optimistic standpoint. Derek Carr's had 6 different offensive coordinators, or 6 different head coaches, and 8 different offensive coordinators in 10 years, or however long he's been in the league, some wild stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's never consistently learned the same system. He's never really consistently had a legit number one weapon. And so
I've said these things. I've been in his defense on that part, to try to make it.
If you're the Jets, you think you got that Garrett Wilson and whatever the running back's name is, Brees Hall.
There's another receiver. There's another receiver too that's not bad. Not Corey Davis, but you just named one. But there's another.
For the Jets. I can't remember his name either, but you're right.
Yeah. They're not bad. Yeah, they're not bad.
And then defense looking like it does, and like Terrence said, Sauce Gardner looking like he could potentially be the best corner in the league after year one. You're like, okay, hey, I bring in a Derek Carr. He gets the message to these guys, gets some continuity in our system. Robert Saleh doesn't think he's going anywhere. Bada boom, bada bing. It may be a 2 or 3 year thing before you actually maybe will go win it, but you'll see the progress, I think, a lot more quickly. So that may be their mindset on it, that Derek Carr is a good reclamation project. Maybe they're not even unlike Matthew Stafford, but younger.
Yeah, I know it wouldn't happen, but the Jets, they had to call the Baltimore Ravens, though. I mean, man, would Lamar Jackson shine in the Big Apple if he was a Jet? Yeah, I know they had to call. Yes, I know they did. Yeah. But anyway, I'm sure that the Ravens wouldn't dare do that one.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm
sure. That's some outrageous shit. They hung up the phone immediately. But they called.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Okay, so that was good stuff. Moving on, that's Derek Carr. Once again, we found a way to spend 16 minutes on Derek Carr. We just
and we just let Nick Suckers answer it every time.
Yeah, I guess we dislike. I guess we we're not the biggest fan of him, but we sure do talk about him a lot. Also, guys, man, wouldn't that be something? I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not. But I just think that he would be at the bottom of my list on who I want to bring to the Jets, in my opinion. Maybe not at the bottom. Jimmy will probably be at the bottom, but Derek's not that much better than Jimmy. I would just say he's more durable, and I guess that is what will make him better, just slightly. How many are on the list? I mean, I guess I will put him above. I don't know. I think I would put Daniel Jones above Jimmy Garoppolo. At least he will move out of the pocket. At least.
You think Daniel Jones is going to end up out of New York since he got for $45 million?
Lost his mind.
Entire mind.
I don't know where he'll. I did not know that, but I think
he recently changed agents, and they're asking for $45 million a year.
Okay, so Daniel Jones is going to be a free agent. Maybe he'll just go from one team to another in New York. Maybe he'll be a Jet. Maybe he'll be the Jets quarterback.
Maybe it's their way of trying to force him out of New York.
Maybe, man. I don't know, but wow. Okay.
I think they have lost their mind. What they're going to realize is nobody's going to pay it.
But I will say this though. As we've said about Derek Carr for most of his career, Daniel Jones has not had any talent. He has not, other than Saquon Barkley. And we know there was some times where he wasn't even on the field. He hadn't had any targets, though, as far as wide receivers. Sterling Shepard, I think that's his name. I think he's still there. He started to get a little better. Maybe, I guess he was there. I don't know. They traded Tony away or lost him in free agency. He's a Chief and a Super Bowl champion now. But some of these guys' names started to kind of pick up some steam toward the end of the season. But, I mean, we don't know if that was schematically on how they got open or not. Brian Dable definitely changed things when he got there. He was the coach of the year, right? And deservingly so. So I'm just saying, I'm not trying to take up for him because I have clowned him plenty of times saying that, hey, what quarterback did you expect to do good coming from Duke football? But at the same time, he didn't look that bad, man, going into the postseason. He looked very good in Minnesota in that playoff game, and he hadn't had a lot of talent. So I'm not saying you should give him 45 per. I'm just saying that what he does have on his side that he can say in an argument or during negotiations is, hey, I hadn't had a lot to work with, but when I have a good coach and a good play caller, you see some of the things that I can do. He did turn the ball over less. He will scramble and take off if need be. you know, and he kind of does look pretty cool. You know, I don't think he's one of those, oh no, I'm about to get hit, interception. He doesn't seem to be that as much now with Brian Dable, so we'll see. But you would think that the Jets would like to keep him, but man, we don't know what their plans are. They may be the ones that's going the hardest for Lamar Jackson. It's always going to be a wild card team in there. We don't know what's going to happen, but these teams are desperately, aggressively going to go for their quarterbacks this season. The Falcons will be aggressively pursuing Lamar Jackson. We're about to get into that. But Daniel Jones, Nick, to answer your question, I guess he would be at the bottom. I'm not going to do Jimmy like that. But then it's Jimmy. Then it's Derek Carr, I guess. And I don't really know if Derek Carr should be above Jimmy Garoppolo, though. The more I think about it, at least.
Come on, man.
I mean, at least Garoppolo does have some playoff experience. Derek Carr has none. I'm just saying he doesn't have a playoff win either. So, you know, just stating that. Now, I understand Jimmy Garoppolo's been in an NFC Championship game where he had 8 pass attempts, and still we beat the brakes off of the Packers. I get it. But again, I'm just saying, I don't know. But we know the big wild cards. We know the super big joker. It's Aaron Rodgers, you know. And
in fairness, Matt Stafford ain't had no playoff experience either. That seems to sound all right.
Matt Stafford?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where you're putting Derek Carr also, because Matt Stafford went with Sean McVay and a loaded Rams roster.
We just got to talking about how this Jets roster looks.
Who? Come again?
Sorry,
what did you say? I missed that. We talked about who?
We just have to talk about how the Jets roster look.
Yeah, the Jets roster does look pretty good, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, it doesn't look as good as the Rams roster looked when Stafford was traded to the Rams. I don't think so. Would you say so? I mean, they don't have a Cooper Kupp, you know?
I mean, it may not be quite that good, but it ain't bad.
The Rams legit went out and bought a Super Bowl. That's what we call buying a Super Bowl.
That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did.
It's like, hey, screw this future.
Yeah, it almost
screw these draft picks.
it almost worked for the Eagles. Yeah, it almost worked for the Eagles. I mean, they do have some draft picks, you know, there and all, but the Eagles, they went hard too, though, with the, you know, giving up the draft picks and getting AJ Brown and then saying, hey, we're going to sign Sue, we're going to sign Joseph, we're going to who was the other guy that they brought in? There was somebody, Gardner Johnson in free agency.
I don't think either of those guys outside of AJ Brown are really expensive, though.
Maybe not, but they piled it on. They did.
CJ we got for like a third rounder or something, and then we did in the trade with the Saints because we ended up getting their first rounder. Mm-hmm. And so we got a first rounder and a Pro Bowl safety out of that. I'll take that trade. And then we got 2 first round picks this year, one in the top 10, like I said, that one from the Saints. So no, we got cap space to be able to pay Jalen. So
yeah,
we're ready to shake.
Yeah, y'all are. No doubt about it. Okay, so
we didn't buy ours.
Well,
we didn't buy it.
Yeah, you definitely didn't win it.
That's the shit that Jerry Jones was talking about. That's what we cast in. And they say the GM, but somebody said, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
Hey, we're gonna wrap up the football news real quick. There's rumors that Jalen Ramsey could be traded and possibly to the Detroit Lions. He's definitely looking to get out. And there was a tweet made by the Rams wide receiver St. Brown, and looks like Ramsey. I can't see his response right now, but it did seem pretty positive, as if he kind of wants that. Now, he probably just wants out of LA, but who knows what's going on with that. But we also want to finish. We're going to wrap up the football talk with saying, well, what we're talking about, Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts real quick. Hurts contract. I just want to ask Nick, and then I'm going to ask Terrence the Lamar Jackson question. Nick, what are you going to pay Jalen Hurts? And, you know, what's the number? What are you hearing in Philly? And do you think it's going to hurt the Eagles roster for the 2023 season or in the near future here? You know, sometimes when these quarterbacks sign these big deals, they try to get as much as they can out of that quarterback and that talent and that team from the talent wise. They try to fill it up with talent while the quarterback is on a rookie contract. Now, if he gets extended, he's getting paid. No more rookie contract. At some point, you're going to start to lose players here. So, Nick, what are you hearing about Jalen Hurts and his contract, and how will the Eagles fare after that, the roster?
What I would do if I was Howie Roseman, and what I hope they do, are in sync. It's the same thing. And what I would hope Jalen would accept. And people might call me, say I'm reaching for this or whatever. I would hope that Howie Roseman would offer him something like a Patrick Mahomes deal. In that it's a long deal that definitely pays him what he's worth. $50 million is basically the top of the market quarterback number at this point. So it's $50 million a year, pay the man his money. Under no circumstances am I suggesting that you shortchange him.
Mm-hmm.
Pay the man, but stretch it out in a way that allows him to not affect the cap so that you can keep some of the talent around him. Really, if you're going to call him a franchise quarterback, put the franchise around him in a way where he's secure, where he's not being underpaid for being a top 5 quarterback in the league as he would project to be over the next 5 years or whatever. But that also allows you to still be able to keep the pieces around him. A.J. Brown obviously has already gotten paid. Devontae Smith, in another year or so is going to be time to pay him. Dallas Goedert's a guy you're going to want to keep around. You may lose some guys. Fletcher Cox is getting a little bit older. At some point, Brandon Graham's got to, they're about the same age. Really. I think Brandon Graham's actually older. So at some point, those guys have got to start to decline, you would think. Lane Johnson is another one at some point, So, you got to have some flexibility to be able to keep some of those pieces that help make the Eagles what they are. But certainly Jalen is the crown jewel of that. So you got to take care of him, man. I'm definitely a fan.
Okay, T, I'm coming to you in 1 second. Nick, I just want to say this. I agree with what you're saying, and I think that's the only way it's going to work. If they are able to offer him a contract similar to Patrick Mahomes, and he actually agrees to it. Now, if he really wants to win championships, he will. If he's more Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers, then he definitely will take that offer.
And that's the encouraging thing, is that I feel like he is that kind of guy. He was coming in like no bullshit. Like, okay, look, we want to offer you 10 years, $500 million. We're going to structure it up this way, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And, as it turns out how the cap stuff works and whatever, we're going to guarantee you X amount of it. We'll make the numbers right for what you deserve for being a top flight quarterback. But we're going to construct it in a way that the cap is less affected so that we can keep these guys around you. I think Jalen would be very open to that. I think you're right, but go ahead, T.
Yeah, if listen, the 2 examples that we have of this are Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. What other 2 examples do you need?
That's true.
That's very fair.
That's very true.
The thing about it, the Tyreek Hill thing, it wasn't because they couldn't pay him. Tyreek Hill said that they offered him the same money. So it wasn't because they couldn't pay him, because Patrick Mahomes did that on purpose to make sure guys like Tyreek and Travis Kelce and Chris Jones could all get paid.
So why did he leave?
He wanted to go to Miami.
Okay. So he's Deshaun Watson.
He wanted to go home.
So he's Deshaun Watson, huh, T?
The same reason Deshaun wanted to go to Miami.
Yeah. I knew it was coming. Okay, so my take on it though, Nick, again, is if that happens, I agree with what you're saying too, Nick. And if that happens, the Eagles are going to be good for a very long time, like the Chiefs are. However, and I think Jalen Hurts will take that offer if he is offered that type of contract. I think that Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, or whatever the hell his name is, I think they're going to try to stunt, and I think they're going to try to stunt hard. I think these guys are about to give this man $250 million guaranteed, $300 million guaranteed, whatever Lamar Jackson's asking for, they're going to top that. And I think they're going to, try to show you that, hey, we believe in this guy and we know he's our quarterback. But the problem will be you can't pay this guy who's about to leave in free agency, because now you're kind of holding the team, the roster at cash strap, because now there's not enough cap space. And I think that if that happens, well, I don't know if they're going to offer that type of contract you're saying. I would be surprised after the way he's played and almost had an MVP type year. I think they're going to shut the critics up, to keep from hearing anybody debate anything about, did he get shortchanged? Did he get that? And I know if you break it down, you'll see the money's still there toward the end if he plays, if he makes it through that contract, of course. But I'm saying that I think that because of the way he played and to keep from hearing any doubters, anybody complaining, they're going to just throw the bank at him. And if they do that, though, the window shuts immediately for the Eagles Super Bowl window. So I say all of that to say this: you should have won last Sunday. It's over with for you, Nick.
That sounds like
coming from me, yeah. Now again, Nick, I agree with everything you said. I just don't think they're going to offer that type of contract. I think if they done that, because they probably feel that Jalen Hurts would be shocked and appalled if they actually offered that, because he feels like,
why would he be appalled?
Well, I mean, he had a great year. He's coming off of a great year. You have to get him when the getting's good. And I don't know if he will say that. Patrick Mahomes, keep in mind, he already had the chip when he took that extension, when he agreed to that. I don't know if he does that if he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring yet. I think it's that. Well, I think he wants to win a lot of Super Bowls. They said they were going to win 7 after they won their first one. So that may play a factor in it.
Like $300 million. Why would he not sign that?
I'm just telling you, I don't think the Eagles are going to offer that type of contract. If they do, yes, he's going to do it. And it will definitely help the Eagles. But I think they're going to try to make a statement here. I'm telling you, that's just my gut that tells me they're going to throw everything at him. But it's going to close the window. Huh?
Why does the 10-year contract not make just as big of a statement? If I'm saying I want to tie myself for 10 years.
Well, it's going to have to be exactly. It's going to have to be exactly like the Patrick, right? The number has to sound huge, like $500 million. It has to be something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said in the beginning. The going rate for a top 1 quarterback at this point is $50 million a year. So if that's what it looks like, 10 years, $500 million.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's what they would.
$250 over the first.
That's what they would have to do. But I mean, if you were Jalen Hurts, would you be wanting to see that money 10 years from now? Or would you say, man, the hell with that? I want 50 per. I want 5, 6, 7 years. And when you shorten it up, you're getting more money in a short amount of time. And that's what the players are thinking about. If they're not thinking about the whole team thing, the team friendly deal, and we want to win. Because some people have tried it and it hasn't worked. What if Colin Kaepernick calls Jalen Hurts and says, don't do it. Don't do it. They got me like that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Think about it. If they said, okay, we're going to find you 10 years, $500 million, we're going to guarantee you $275 over the first season. So they're saying, look, we're putting out a 10-year contract.
Because if he gets hurt. But if
and think about what has happened in the Patrick Mahomes deal. Because that happened, and because they were able to keep Travis Kelce and Chris Jones and some of the other guys around him, now he's gone out, won another MVP, won another Super Bowl. They don't want to call him and bring him back to the table even before his guaranteed money runs out.
Yeah. Well, hey, I don't want to stay too long on it. You make a good point, Nick.
Some more money now.
I'm sure for your sakes, I hope you're right. But I'm telling you, I just got the funniest feeling they're gonna give it all to him. If now this would be smart, and we got to move on. But this would be smart if the Eagles would just say, hey, you know what, Jalen, I know you had a great year, but can we just wait one more year before we pay you? We promise we're gonna get the Super Bowl this time. We just need to get this one more player here or fill this position up. Well, you don't even really got that many positions to fill right now, but it depends on what you're looking at in free agency. I don't know who's leaving. I don't know if any departures are going to be coming off the defense or the offense. But hey, like there's been Bosa didn't get paid this past offseason like people thought. They said, hey, we can wait another year to pay him. They had other things to do. They did it. Now I know that's not a quarter. That's not the franchise quarterback. I know, but hey, I'm just saying, will he get paid?
He's not needing it.
Right. Okay, so now I got to come to T real quick, and we're going to get to the NBA, I promise. Terrence has told us before, ladies and gentlemen, on this show, that Lamar Jackson is not going anywhere. He will be a Baltimore Raven. Now, the reason why I keep bringing this up is because we keep hearing reports telling us otherwise. So, T, what are you hearing in Baltimore? What are you hearing as far as the Ravens news? Because I am hearing that the Atlanta Falcons are going to be very, very aggressive in their pursuit of Lamar Jackson. There's also rumors that Eric Bieniemy, who took a job as OC, offensive coordinator with the Washington Commanders, my theory alone tells me he didn't take that job for nothing. They're going for Lamar Jackson. The Ravens would not mind sending him down the road in Maryland when this is an NFC team. So, Terrence, I'm going to ask you again, man, where is Lamar Jackson going to be playing in 2023?
Well, let me answer your first question, which was, what am I hearing?
Okay, yeah.
The biggest problem with that is I'm not hearing anything. And silence is not good right now.
It's not.
You know, the only noise that's being made are from teams on the outside, and that's basically them just sending smoke screens saying, hey, you know, if Lamar becomes available, you know, we're ready. You know, and the Falcons have not. They're just. I don't want to call them desperate, but I mean, they are just throwing themselves out there, man. They have swiped right on Lamar already before he's even been put on Tinder.
Can you blame them?
And no, of course
yeah,
not. What else do they have?
Right.
We get to have the newer, better version of Michael Vick, and you know, hopefully.
Oh Lord, wasn't that? Oh man.
Hopefully, we get all the baggage stays at home this time. But anyway,
newer and better.
He's better not because he's better. He's better because the times accept him more. You know, I'm not saying he's a better athlete than Michael Vick, but had offenses at that point in time tried to use Michael Vick's talents better, I mean, who knows what Michael Vick could have been. So he's better circumstantially, not because he's better.
The juke move now. The juke.
All right, fair enough.
Vic didn't have a juke move though, like Lamar. I mean, that boy is mad now all the way.
He wasn't as elusive.
Vic is just Vic is just, I'm gonna get on down and you're not gonna catch me. But the moves that he puts on to get away from some of these people.
I'll say this: if Vic was faster, he wasn't that much faster, and I don't think he's faster.
Oh, I don't know what Michael Vick y'all was watching.
Now, I wouldn't say that I think he was definitely faster than Lamar. But man, the moves that he puts on people, he puts people on skates. I don't know if Vic did that a lot. He just ran by you though, and you couldn't catch him.
I hear you on the quickness conversation. I was offended by how big of a gap y'all seem to imply there was in the quickness. But I would hear you that Lamar is probably quicker and shiftier than Vic. But straight line speed, dog. I'm not hearing that.
I don't know. Yeah, Lamar is pretty fast. But anyway, beside the point, my point is that they get to have Michael Vick 2.0. Let me just say that. How about that?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So of course they're going to be aggressive for it.
Yes. Do you see it happening?
You can't blame them.
Do you see it happening? You say you're not hearing anything in Baltimore.
The longer this goes, the more my eyes are opening, and it just does not look good.
Yeah.
And it's very, very disappointing because you have this guy who, sure enough, you guys took a chance and drafted back into the first round to get him, but he's done nothing but good things for your franchise.
Yeah.
And what are you saying to other people who, you know, come in and do great things for your franchise? Are you just going to ship them out too when it's time? I know paying a quarterback in this league is difficult, but I would rather to have one and to have to struggle to pay him as opposed to not have one, which is what you'll get when you trade him.
Yep.
Now maybe they're looking at the Derek Carrs and the Garoppolos and the the potential of a Daniel Jones or whatever the case may be out there, and they might be saying that, hey, maybe we don't need to pay this guy all that money. We can just kind of wait around and get somebody much cheaper and keep a better team around him. But there is a big difference in that team with Lamar on it and with Lamar off of it. And that proof is in the pudding.
And keep in mind, they're looking at how they still almost won a playoff game with Huntley at quarterback.
They almost won a playoff game until they needed a quarterback to run a sneak, and the quarterback couldn't run one.
Good point.
If Lamar is there, they win their game, and it's not even close.
I agree. Good point.
If Lamar is there, Cincinnati is going home.
Right. Okay, so in 2023, Lamar Jackson, if you right now had to bet on that black right now, what team is Lamar Jackson playing for in 2023? And we're on to the NBA.
I'm still going to say Baltimore for at least a couple more weeks until
Good answer.
But you know what though? This reminds me of, and it's not quite the same, but it's kind of got that same feel because Lamar is so polarizing.
Yeah.
It's almost like LeBron's decision, right? Like we were all, this might be the most anticipated free agency, and it's not because Lamar wants to leave. Lamar wants to stay there. But they say they're reluctant to sign him, and it's just creating this tension that's not necessary. So this has become a very big thing, and I don't really remember many free agencies that was this of this magnitude. And so the first one that comes up will be LeBron's decision year, which was 2000. Was it 2000?
The Ravens are filtering this so badly.
They are just getting killed right now. They are doing it to themselves.
As they should. Yep, as they should. Keep in mind though that big long IG post or Twitter or tweet, I don't know which one it was, but that post that Lamar Jackson made right after the season ended, that didn't sound like a player that's going to play on the tag if he gets tagged. I think he's kind of that's why you're not hearing anything in Baltimore, T. I think that he's let it be known. He's probably let it be known, and we haven't heard it yet publicly, but I think they know in the organization that he's not playing for that tag. He needs to get traded. You got to get rid of him, or we got to get something for him, or it's gonna be ugly. So, but Terrence, I do agree with you. I think the Ravens are thinking just what you said. Jimmy Garoppolo is serviceable enough to come in here and move the chains. We'll kick field goals. We'll get touchdowns every now and then, but this defense is good, and it's even better. We paid Roquan. We've got him locked in. They paid who they see and who they value the most. They've already paid Roquan. He wasn't there but 7 days. I don't think that's accurate, but you get what I'm saying.
Close enough.
Lamar Jackson's been there for some years now, and he's been the negotiation started over a year ago, and still nothing. So that tells me all I need to know. I don't think the Baltimore Ravens will have Lamar Jackson as their quarterback in 2023. I've been saying it for a while. I've been talking about it since Dak got hurt week 1 of the NFL season of 2022. I've been saying it. Lamar's going somewhere else, and I know I said Dallas at that time, but okay.
All right, y'all ready for this?
Come on with it.
All right. So when it comes to Mr. Dakota Rain Prescott, or is it Rain Dakota? Either way, I got something that hit me the other day, and at first it was like, that's crazy, but then I thought about it. It made a whole lot of sense. The rumor was that the Cowboys would possibly trade Dak Prescott for Aaron Rodgers.
That's not a fair trade.
Well, hold on. Now the Cowboys will have to add to it.
Come on, man.
But we got to keep in mind his old head coach is there.
Okay.
The money wouldn't be that far off because of Dak's contract.
True. I think you're only looking at about $10 million, if that.
And that's not bad. You can
no.
You're a GM, you can find $10 million somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the money will match up. They're probably the only team that can trade a player and match the money up.
Interesting.
And then you got to think about, they might have to add a first round draft pick and here or there and a player.
Was this supposed to take place last offseason or currently this offseason?
What I heard was currently.
Oh, okay. Some breaking news here, Terrence, is dropping. If this happens,
so if that happens,
you heard it here first.
I want it
That's
known.
right. You heard it here first from the good guys on the Great Debate Show, and the Great Debate Show is available wherever you get your podcast. Hit that follow button and give us a listen, man. It's just different. We're live on YouTube right now. The Great Debate Show. You can catch us on Facebook. You can catch us on Twitter. The Great Debate Show and YouTube if you want to check us out, watch us. We've got some interesting things on there, Madden games and things like that also. So now, look, we got to get into the basketball. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's going to play somewhere. Probably the Saints, probably the Buccaneers, probably the Raiders. But the Jets, we hadn't heard anything about him making a visit with them, although he's not a free agent just yet. I don't know how that works. If that would be considered tampering or what. Right. So we're going to get on it with the NBA. We're going to talk about Russell Westbrook going to the Clippers. We're going to talk about Jokic winning a 3rd straight MVP. which is probably about to happen. There's only 3 other players that's done that, but I'll tell you the difference between him and those 3. But first, I want to say something about Zion Williamson. We don't have much to talk about as far as the All-Star weekend goes because neither one of us really watched it. And I'm not going to take the time to talk about was it good? Was the dunk contest good? Was it overrated? Who cares? We didn't watch it. There's a reason why we didn't think it was worth watching. And from what we've heard, we didn't miss much. Zion Williamson, you were not there. Why weren't you not there? Because he was injured, ladies and gentlemen. I can remember somebody on this podcast months and months ago, over a year ago, a few times several times on this show. Nick has, kind of said that I can be somewhat disrespectful when I say things like Saquon Barkley may be borderline bust. I've also borderline now, but he came back and he showed out in 2022. You're welcome, Saquon. And now Zion. I said that Zion Williamson could be borderline bust if he can't stay healthy and show me consistently what he can do on a nightly basis, which we know he's a bad boy. I never said he wasn't. But his athletic, he's a freak of nature. His athletic gifts are just so overwhelming and it's just so dynamic and he's just so good. I'm beginning to think that this is his, it's a gift and a curse. Because this guy is only 6'4", 6'6". I'm sorry, no, about 6'6".
I think he's like 6'7", 6'8".
I think he's listed at like 6'6", 6'7".
He's not 6'7" or 6'8".
I had a friend of mine who actually saw him in Vegas. I think during the draft lead up stuff or whatever, and he was like, "That dude is not 6'7". He's not 6. He might be 6'4.5", 6'5".
Yep, and they're listing him at 6'6", which is still a damn lie. And he confirmed it. So thank you for that, Nick. But the point I'm trying to make is that Zion Williamson at 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", whatever you want to call it, he is his body mass, the weight that he has on him. And I know he's toned it up. He looks great. He looks a lot better. But it's just something going on wrong there. There's not a balance. There's something off balance here with his weight and his athleticism. We've literally seen this man bust through a shoe. You've never seen anything like that. I haven't. I don't know about you guys. So this is the point that I'm trying to make. I think Zion is just too good for his own good. Sorry, Zeke. I don't know why I'm talking about you. We skipped you. We kind of skipped you, but people are saying that he doesn't have much left. Yada, yada, yada. He may get released by the Cowboys. Anyway, Zion, he's a freak of nature. He's all of that in a bag of chips. But I think he's just so freakish. He's so athletic. He's so quick. He's so agile. He can jump up, down. It looks like he's jumping off of a trampoline. But the up and down, the stop and go, it's too much, for some reason, too much wear and tear because of the body weight and the body mass. It's just not, something's just off there. And I think that he's just too athletic and too good for his size, though. And I don't think his size matches the athleticism and the skills, all the gifts that he has. And I think that's the reason why he's getting hurt a lot. And I think he's going to continue to get hurt. He can do some of the most dynamic dunks in pregame, and then he'll pull something, and then they'll say he's sitting out this game. It's not bad. It's just they're just going to, just watch it. He's just going to sit this game. Maybe the next game, he's on a game to game, day-to-day basis. You hear this every other week with him. Just when he gets rolling again, like, oh, man, this is what we were waiting on. The 30 points every night, 60% from the field, 50% at least. This is what we know we can get from Zion, but we never can get it long because he's never available. And this is what I've been saying for quite some time now. I don't think these guys are even going to debate with me about it because he is always injured. And that has been my biggest issue. So Nick said earlier today when we were talking that, hey, this guy needs 7 or 8 years just to be a dark-skinned Blake Griffin. This is a 180 compared to what he was saying the last time we talked about Zion Williamson. So that tells you guys, even Nick is fed up. Even Nick can't make any more excuses for the brother. That's all I wanted to say, Zion. You have got to somehow, some way stay healthy and give us Zion versus Ja in the dunking contest next year. You blew this. This dunking contest could have been phenomenal had you been healthy enough to be in it, and you were not. And we know he was an all-star, so we know he's good enough to be an all-star. But the problem is he wasn't there. He wasn't available for the all-star game. He's not available. The Pelicans were a top 2 team in the Western Conference early on, and now I think they're somewhere around 9 or 10, maybe even 11.
The other problem is because he has these issues with his health, that's the reason he'll never do the dunk contest.
Oh, so you don't think he will ever do it?
No, I'll never do it. Ja might do it. Zion's not gonna do it.
Ja has said he will do it next year. Now I hope he's not just saying that. I hope he wasn't just clowning, but I heard that he said that he would do it. Again, I didn't watch anything over the weekend, so I'm not sure. But we're gonna do the Zion versus Ja in a minute. But guys, do y'all have anything to say about what I just said about Zion? I know we got to move on to Jokic and Westbrook and all of that, but your thoughts on what I just said about Zion?
Yeah, so I don't think you're wrong at all. I am just trying to be optimistic, the same way I was about Embiid, the same way I was about Blake Griffin and some football players too. I want to say not Darnold. Good grief, what was the kid from Oklahoma?
Bradford.
I think he missed his first year. He was never much though.
He never lived up. Yeah.
Yeah. There was so many guys that unfortunately had to miss a lot of time at the beginning of their career, but I think the biggest success story will be Embiid, right? I mean, Embiid is probably arguably an MVP, right? He probably should have won last year, but as Nick will tell us. So I just try to be optimistic about those guys, but nah, Jarvis, you're not wrong. At a certain point, New Orleans Pelicans have to really think about their contract and have to think about what they have with Zion because he's never there. If he's there in the first round last year, maybe they get out in the first round.
Yeah, he's never reliable.
And then the report was that, had they made it to Game 7, I would have played. That means you could have played in Game 6.
Yeah, right.
So I do think that part of it's him. I also think that part of it is this new NBA culture. It's just everything has got rest doesn't cure everything, guys. Sometimes you got to get out and move those joints and those tendons.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Football and basketball these days, they've all, in my book, become a bunch of PUSSIE. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's just what I think. But yeah, Nick, your thoughts on what I said about Zion?
Yeah, man. Like I said, we were talking earlier. I think at best he's dark skinned Blake Griffin at this point. If at best he can get 5.
You're saying that's his ceiling.
That's his ceiling, yeah. That's his ceiling. If he can get 5, 6, 7 years, where he can play 60 plus games and put up the numbers that we've seen him put up, then I think he can have to count himself lucky for that. Is the unfortunate thing. I really hate it for him. Like I said, just coming in the league with as much talent as he clearly has, you hate to see it not be able to really come to fruition like it could, just because his body would want to cooperate with him.
Yep. All right, I agree, and I think that's his ceiling also, Nick. If he can't do what Terrence was saying about Embiid, if he can't turn that around and just stay healthy for the rest of the way, and be all-star, MVP, at least MVP runner-up or something like that, on some all-team, what do you call it again? What do they say? All defensive, all NBA. He has to do some things like that in order to surpass what we're saying right now. We're putting that ceiling on him right now because, hey, he's already out of the rookie contract. He's in a new contract, and they're still not getting much out of him. They're getting robbed right now is what it's looking like. All right, so we're going to keep it pushing. Russell Westbrook, ladies and gentlemen, is a Clipper. He's back in L.A. after the buyout with the Utah Jazz. We know he was traded a week or so ago from the Lakers to the Jazz. Now after the buyout, he's back in L.A. as a Clipper. So the Clippers now have added Eric Gordon and Russell Westbrook. I don't know if I'm missing anybody or not. This team already was.
And they added Bones Highland from Denver.
Okay. All right. So let's start with Terrence. What do you think about the Clippers right now? And again, all of this is banking on if Kawhi Leonard is going to play. the rest of the way. And we know we don't know if he will do that or not.
Right. Well, that's all we know is that we don't know.
Yeah.
What I will say about the Clippers, I don't want to make any predictions because I think that Kevin Durant going to Phoenix kind of sealed the Western Conference for me. But let me just say this, and Nick, you can take this however you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they win it all. I hope the Clippers win it all, and I hope Westbrook gets Finals MVP. Now y'all gotta ask me why do I wish these things? I do want to hear this one because I hate the Lakers so much.
Oh, there it is.
Former player. I'd rather see the player they cast away win it all.
There it is.
Bring the trophy back to LA for the real team in LA.
If the Clippers do win a championship with Kawhi Leonard on that team, I am going to start a crazy debate on why Kawhi Leonard could possibly be the GOAT if he would have won a championship with the Clippers. And I don't mean like of all time, but just like this era or whatever. We got so many GOATs now. Okay. So for this era, I would say, wow. You mean to tell me Kawhi Leonard won a championship as a Spur when he was young and shut down LeBron James in the finals and won MVP? He snatched it away from LeBron. Matter of fact, Michael Jordan never let one of his opponents do that to him. But that's neither here nor there. And you're telling me that he went to Toronto in a trade, and the first year he got traded there, he brought a championship to Canada? And then you're telling me he went to a third team in LA? The forgotten LA team, the team that just, they leased the place out. Hey, can we rent this place out tonight to have a game? It seems like that's what they do the nights they're playing in that Staples Center or whatever they're calling it these days, versus when the Lakers are playing.
Crypto.com arena.
Okay, wow. I don't even want to repeat that, but yeah, but yeah. Yeah, but what Terrence says, so it's like, hey, man, this guy won 3 championships on 3 different teams. I know LeBron has done that, but this guy, he did it for some franchises like, whoa. Besides, I'll give you LeBron in Cleveland, but LeBron in Toronto? I mean, Kawhi in Toronto? Kawhi in LA as a Clip? Man, I would have to make a huge argument because Durant, he won his championships with Steph Curry. The Warriors are good, and we can talk about Steph, but I think I would not want to put Durant in that category because of how he won his championships. I would have to say, man, Kawhi would probably go down as the man of the decade, probably the man of this era, if he was able to pull that off. Now, it probably won't happen, Terrence, but I'm kind of with you on that though, just not for the same reasons.
You know what? When the playoffs begin and the Knicks get eliminated, I'm officially a Clippers fan to the rest of the playoffs. I want them to win it all. I
wouldn't have a problem with that, but not for the same reasons why I would.
They don't do that. That was a legit question. I hadn't really looked too much into the East. They're not a top seed, but they're a solid playoff team right now.
Oh, so you're telling me, Terrence, the Knicks are as good as I said they would be?
Well, that East is so bad over there, man. That ain't saying a whole lot.
I'm messing with you. Okay, I got you. But hey, look, at least they're worth watching. They're watchable now, and they're actually playing meaningful basketball. And that's I know as a Knicks fan, you can't ask for too much more than that. I know you're not that ungrateful, right?
You can't ask for much more at all.
And Brunson is really living up to his free agency, to his contract for right now. I mean,
to me, he surpassed it.
There you go. I didn't want to go that far. I didn't know how you would feel about it, but yes, I agree. Okay, so
the Knicks are the 6th seed, and the playoffs start today. They get Philadelphia.
There you go. And you know what?
Very, very winnable series.
They would give them.
That's not an unwinnable series. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
Brooklyn. Of course, Brooklyn got rid of Durant and
Kyrie.
So they're going to slide more than likely.
Oh yes.
So the Knicks, you could be looking at the Knicks as the 5th seed playing Cleveland in the first round.
Yep.
Also, to me, a winnable series.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My point is, once they're gone and the Clippers are still in, I am rooting for the Clippers through and through.
Well, how do you see the Clips? How do you see the Clips, Nick?
Say it again.
How do you see the Clips with Westbrook and Eric Gordon now on this roster?
Man, I'm looking forward to seeing him. To be honest, I'm hoping the best for us. Kind of for the same spirit as Terrence.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely hoping the best for him. I feel like being LeBron's sidekick is one of the most thankless jobs in the NBA. So I'm glad to see Russ get out of that situation, and I'm really hoping that I'd love to see the Clippers win the title. Just I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Well, look, and I know we talked about it before, but Nick, you brought something up that I wanted to kind of ask about again. But what do you guys think about all the Anthony Davis talk about him just being unhappy? I think the rumor was that he got wind of the Westbrook trade before the game, and that's why he was incredibly unhappy on the sideline.
Oh, okay. Because I heard he was jealous of LeBron's moment. I'm like, what the hell? Who said?
That doesn't sound right.
Who says that? Yeah.
Here's the thing about this record. It got to a point where this season we knew LeBron was going to break this record. And you're not telling me that your whole team knew that this record was about to be broken on as one shot. They're all standing. You're going out of your way to sit, which lets me know that you are making a statement. You are saying, and you know the cameras are on you. You got to know the cameras are on you. And you are going out of your way to look disgusted when his record is broken. Yeah, something ain't right there.
Yeah, something's not right there. I agree. If that's the way it went down, no, that's not right. But anyway, we'll see. But yeah, so the Clippers, Nick, you've got Eric Gordon, you've got now you've already kind of told me that, ain't you? Did you already kind of give me
Eric Gordon? They added Eric Gordon, they added Bones Highland, they added Westbrook. They still have Reggie Jackson, and they've got a solid team. I don't think any team is as deep as they are.
And Zubac has been playing pretty good here lately.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I remember Magic saying that he was only averaging 3 points or something like that. Well, he's getting more than 3 points off just lobs from Paul George or somebody. He's not.
Here's the thing.
Offensive rebounding. Yeah.
Westbrook being there is going to take a lot of pressure off of Paul George to handle the ball. So I look at Paul George's shooting numbers to get better.
Yeah.
But listen, people don't want to give the man his credit, but nobody creates plays like Westbrook. The man averaged a triple-double 3 times, and Jokic is about to do it this year. They're going to act like he just, did something unprecedented. But Westbrook, 2 things growing up that we thought would never happen again. We thought that nobody would break Kareem's record. We thought that nobody would ever average a triple-double because Big O was going to let you know that nobody else could do that.
Yeah.
And, in our lifetime, we've seen both happen, and we saw Westbrook average that triple-double 3 times.
Yep.
That man can create plays.
Yes.
He can get easy shots for people.
Yes.
And people can talk what they want to talk about stat padding, but he ain't the only one that may have done a little stat padding in his career. And nobody else so far has averaged that triple-double.
Right. I'm liking this Russell Westbrook thing to the Clippers. I think it just got a lot more interesting, as JR would say in the WWE back in the day. Business has just picked up, in my opinion.
Yeah, and more importantly, I'm glad he was able to stay at home.
Yes, that's very important. He was able to stay home.
Westbrook, he's very open about his family, and clearly a family man, and I'm sure he had to move everybody to LA, which is where he wants to be.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he was able to stay there. Can
the Clippers finally do it? All right. Speaking of Jokic, Terrence just said something about him a minute ago. Jokic, especially according to Nick, according to everybody, if you're watching and keeping up, he's going to win the MVP for a 3rd year in a row. That's what it's looking like. Now, we don't know if they'll give it to him or not. They could give it to somebody else just because, hey, you know what? Like Embiid could have won last year. Maybe because of that, they give it to somebody else. But if he wins it, if they give it to, I don't know. I don't think no one is. But I'm just trying to give a reason on why they probably wouldn't. You know how some of these things are so flawed sometimes. I don't know. But if he gets it, our question is, and this is coming from Nick especially, and I'll give you my debate to that, or my question, I would say, I guess, is he going to win his 3rd MVP in a row? And if he does, how meaningful will it be if he doesn't win a championship this year? Right now, they are number 1 in the Western Conference. Are they a championship team? If they are, hey, kudos to him. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. All he has to do is win one chip, I think, and he's a Hall of Famer, looking at the numbers he's been putting up so far here. However, if he doesn't win a championship, 3 years in a row for MVPs, does that mean anything, or is it still a hell of an accomplishment? Your thoughts on that? Let's start with you, Nick. If Nick is there, and he may not be. Is he there? Okay. Jokic.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't see how Jokic doesn't win his third straight at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as I said, his team is number one in the West. He's going to average another triple-double this year. Now whether of course it's still going to mean something. You won 3 MVPs in a row. I mean, you can't diminish that kind of accomplishment, right? It's only been accomplished by 3 other players at this point. So he'll be the fourth. This is going to be one of their best chances to win a title, I think. The West, as powerful as it may be, is kind of discombobulated. But I think this will be one of their best opportunities. So if they do pull it off, it certainly is the icing on the cake. But it doesn't invalidate what he's accomplished if he doesn't.
Okay. And Terrence, before you go and give your take, I want to say that I want to mind you this, that only 3 other players done this, what Jokic is about to do. And that's win a 3rd straight MVP. Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, and Larry Bird. However, all 3 of those players, Hall of Famers that is, have championships.
Yeah, I mean, they have championships, and that makes it sweeter. That definitely elevates their place in NBA history. But it doesn't take away from, from that level of accomplishment. I mean, you don't even have guys like Michael Jordan or LeBron or Kobe or anybody like that. That's accomplished that. Larry Bird, certainly I think is one of the guys that kind of get slept on in the greatness conversation, but we'll save that conversation for another day. Of course, Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell. So I'm looking forward to him. I don't see any way that he doesn't win it. Like I said. So we'll just see what happens as far as the playoffs.
Okay.
Does he need a championship? Absolutely. But he's still very much on the upside of his career. I look at him almost like we looked at Dirk for a while. I think you made the Peyton Manning reference, but Dirk is the first player that comes to mind. Now, Dirk didn't have 3 back-to-back, MVPs.
Right.
Dirk he did have an MVP, and, we get bounced out of the first round, made the finals, lost in the finals. I also want to keep in mind, too, that Jokic, past couple of years, hasn't had Jamal Murray. So I think that, we have to keep that in mind also.
Interesting. Well, can they win a championship this year? Can he do it now?
I think so. I mean, you look at the Western Conference, and literally 1 through 8, I think anybody can pretty much win.
Mm-hmm. So in the Western Conference Finals, Denver Nuggets, Phoenix Suns, and I'm not saying the Phoenix Suns are going to get there. Let's just say they are. People are kind of making them their favorite now with KD, and we need to find out. Somebody needs to find out when he's returning too. But
I think this week.
Oh, okay, great.
I think so.
Can't wait.
I saw they were advertising for him on ESPN, so I think this week.
Okay, great. Can't wait. Who would win in the Western Conference Finals if it was Phoenix versus Denver or Golden State versus Denver?
If I had to pick, I would pick both of the opposing teams. I'm going to pick Phoenix because of Kevin Durant. I want to pick Golden State because as much as they love to splash it, they've also become that their veteran presence won them a championship last year because they had been there so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And teams that haven't been there as much, they're just going to find a way to beat you.
Here's the question I have: what's the Western Conference Series you want to see?
Well, I still would love to see Golden State and Phoenix, but I mean it's a different team now. Kind of. I just wonder would Golden State beat Phoenix. But that team isn't quite the same anymore now, though. So
yeah, for me, it's Dallas and Phoenix.
Luka
Doncic went in there and punked those boys out in Game 7. I don't think he'll be able to do that this time.
See, that's what I was saying. I actually have 2. Phoenix and Dallas was one of them, and Phoenix and the Clippers is the other.
Man, who's gonna take KD? Are they gonna take turns with Kawhi and Paul George? Or are they gonna leave Morris on them the entire game and get killed?
Well, the good thing is that they have options.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
You must forgot what happened last time.
What?
When last time when Kawhi was in San Antonio and KD was in Golden State.
Oh,
Kawhi had the clamps on that boy.
Oh yeah. But that was like
until he got Zaza Pachulia.
Yeah, that's true. But that was like 6 years ago.
It's been a long time ago.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying.
Now you're right though. You're definitely right, and they were beating the brakes off of Golden State too. I know that was just one game, but I thought that they had a chance, and there was once again another time where the Warriors got by. They squeaked by again. They always seem to get lucky sometimes against some of the teams that I think is a great match for them. But neither here nor there. That's pretty much it though. I think we pretty much covered it all. And me personally, I think the Denver Nuggets can definitely win a championship this year. They're probably the most complete team right now. They're not going through any big trades where they have to, get players to adjust and work them into the lineup. They're already set. And that's one thing that Denver and Memphis still has over a majority of these teams, regardless of the moves that have been made. Still look for Denver and Memphis to be in the thick of things. Next episode, we don't have the time now, but next episode, we've got to come back and talk about my boy, my guy, Anthony Edwards, and my Minnesota Timberwolves, who are finally starting to make a little run here, and they're finally starting to make me look a little good. Go ahead. You mean seed in the Western Conference? I'm not sure, but from what I saw, they've been winning some games here. Now I could be wrong.
6 seed, I think. Let me check that because
now we still got we still got 2 or 3 months to play now.
Yeah, that's true too now.
Yeah, if
they got like 25 games left.
That's it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that many.
Man, damn. So they really
it's like less than 20. Like the Lakers have like 16 games left.
That's like 2 games a week.
No, the Lakers are 27 and 32, so that is 59. No, they got 23 games left.
They got to win 16 of those 23 games is what it was to make the playoffs. Make the play-in tournament. And not the playoff, but the play-in tournament. Yeah. Minnesota's in the 8th seed right now, so they still be in the play-in tournament. Minnesota's in the 8th seed.
8th seed right now?
Right behind them is Golden State.
Golden State's in the 9th seed. Yeah.
And you got to imagine that Golden State is going to be getting healthy here soon, and then they should probably get over the Timberwolves.
But here's the problem. You got Denver, Memphis, Sacramento, the Clippers, Phoenix, Dallas, and then you have New Orleans, Minnesota, and Golden State. So I'm on the belief that 7 through 9 or 7 through 10 is pretty much locked in. Like I don't see Dallas losing too much. I definitely don't see Phoenix losing too much. Clippers, Sacramento maybe, but those boys are nice. Memphis maybe because they were kind of sliding towards the end right there. And Denver's not going anywhere.
No, they're not.
I think 7 through 10 could very well be as locked in as it gets now. They might fluctuate, amongst themselves. If Zion doesn't come back, New Orleans will slide down some more.
Where is New Orleans at right now?
New Orleans in the 7th spot.
Okay.
I think the Pelicans are the only ones the Timberwolves can go over. But I can see them also falling below the Warriors. So if the Warriors pass them both, then that could put the Timberwolves potentially at the 9 basically, because they be in the play-in.
Yes,
okay.
7 through 10 makes the play-in, so I think they'll definitely do that. But I think those 4 teams right there, I think those 4 teams are pretty much locked in.
Okay.
Now you got Utah, who's only a half game behind the Oklahoma City, and so is Portland.
What was the bet with the Timberwolves? It was that they wouldn't win.
I think you said that they had to be better than the seed they were last year.
Right.
No, it wasn't that. I think you said you wouldn't accept anything lower than a 6 seed, if I'm not mistaken.
They had to make the playoffs, but not make it above the play, so they'll be a 6 seed.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, and so as of right now, you're winning that bet if they're currently at 8, right? But they have been making a run. I don't know where they were before they got to 8, but I've been seeing them winning more games than I've seen them losing the past few weeks here as of late.
They won a lot of games with Carl Anthony Towns out.
With Towns out.
5 in their last 10.
5 of the last 10. Okay, well, that's just 50-50. But okay, maybe I'm looking at it only the days when they win. I'm not sure, but it looked like they were making a little run here. And it has been when Cat has been out, Karl Anthony Towns, as you just mentioned, Terrence. And it seems like and keep in mind, they traded away D'Angelo Russell, but it seems like they're finally starting to find their rhythm, their chemistry, where everybody belongs. Anthony Edwards is really just kind of tucking over. He's getting 30-plus, I think, every other game here now. He's been kind of snapping out. I think that he is that guy. He reminds me of a young Jimmy Butler, that is. And I think he just got that dog in him. I think he's got that it factor. And he said he made some comments over the All-Star weekend that I was impressed with, as far as, players not playing when fans are spending their hard-earned money to see these games and see these players. And then, he's not playing, he's not dressing up, and he doesn't agree with it. He doesn't like it. I don't even think he's a big fan of the season getting shortened like it did. But it's like he's more old school, and I always dig that. So shout out to Anthony Edwards, and I appreciate you for doing everything I said you would do. It's starting to show more and more, but I'm going to need y'all to somehow be at least a 6 seed. I would preferably 5. I don't know how, from listening to you guys, if that's possible. I don't know how they can do it, but they just got to win. Keep winning. With only 23, 24 games left, they need to get 15 of those. And I don't know if that's possible or not, but it seems like with Rudy Gobert being the only big man in that starting lineup, they're starting to kind of figure it out. Coaching may not be as good. Coaching could probably be better as well from what I was seeing earlier on in the season. They didn't do anything that I said they would do and why they would be successful. And now Russell's gone, so they can't do it. But that's neither here nor there. That's pretty much it for me. That's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. It was a great show. I think we gave you all of the football news as of right now, up to date with the quarterbacks and what's going to happen with them. We talked about, basketball, Zion Williamson, and these possible trades that could happen in the NFL. And but yeah, we'll come back to the Minnesota Timberwolves and on our bet next episode. We got some great debates that we're going to start bringing back to you now. Since the football season is over, we're going to start taking one maybe 30-minute episode. That's probably all it would take just for one great debate, and really do what a lot of people are telling me that we should be doing. Really make it the great debate show. We love to give you the news and the updates, but we're going to start coming up with more debates. And I think I'm going to put the LeBron, Michael Jordan. I know I said I wouldn't talk about it again, but I'm just so tired of people coming to me with some of the things that they tell me. Some of the things that they say, their opinions about LeBron James, and I'm just like, I got to really put this to bed. Now, I got to admit.
We'll get some of the people on here for those conversations.
So I can't get a debate with you. I know I can't get one with Terrence. He definitely agrees with me. But, Nick, you're not going to fight me on that either with LeBron versus Jordan?
The question is basketball. The answer is Michael Jordan.
Okay, well, yep, we'll have to get somebody else on. And I'm going to try to get that particular person on, and if he's listening, he knows who I'm talking about. I'm going to try to get him on this show if he will, show up. But I'm telling you right now, if you come, I'm going to eat you alive. And as much as I love LeBron James and I like him, and he's all right at times, and he's a damn good player. He's had a damn good career. But I am going to make him look like Scottie Pippen when I am done with this debate. It'll be the last damn time that I'm going to talk about it after that. But that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get into that. And, of course, we're going to be chopping it up and seeing what's going to go on. If there's any breaking news, we'll come back with it. But other than that, there's going to be some football and some basketball debates. And, Garcia and Tank Davis, it's official. They are fighting on April 15th, I believe that's the date. I don't know exactly the venue or the location, but probably Vegas, I'm sure. But this is going to be supposedly a big fight. I've always said that it's going to be Garcia's funeral, but we'll see. I got Tank.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a funeral. The same thing I thought about Pacquiao had he got in the ring with Spence, but then Spence had the eye surgery. But he really did need that surgery though, from the bad car accident. So, but I'm not happy with Errol Spence. He's fighting Keith Thurman. I'm not sure when that is. I'm not sure the date on that, but they are going to fight, and I'm not happy about it at all because I'm not interested in seeing Keith Thurman. I'm not interested in seeing Spence in the ring with anyone but Terrence Crawford. And that did not happen. It has not happened, and it may not ever happen. And That's the reason why I don't talk about boxing as much anymore, because it's what I thought it was, even though somebody tried to beat me in the head on how great boxing is. I gave it a try. You were wrong. This is the reason why boxing sucks. It does, because of stuff like this. We don't get the best fights when we need them. When we do get them, it's 5-6 years too late. Hint Mayweather Pacquiao. But that's all I've got. Nick, Terrence, anything else before we go?
Hey, that's definitely for me, man. Yeah, I don't have anything, man. But whoever wants to have that Jordan LeBron debate, just I'll finish him off one last time.
Right. Okay. Got you. And look, guys, if there's anybody that wants to get in on that debate, hit us up. The Great Debate Show. You can find us on Facebook on the page.
Debates? We got variety around here.
We've got variety, but comment, leave us something. Go to the inbox. The Great Debate Show. Hey, can I do it? I want to be on the show. Come on. If you're a LeBron fan, and if you've got all the smoke for us Michael Jordan lovers over here, please bring it, and bring your A game, because I'm telling you, I'm going to make him look like Scottie Pippen when we're done. And I'm not talking about Jordan. I'm talking about LeBron. And he's had a phenomenal career. But being the greatest, being the highest scorer of all time does not make you the greatest of all time. I know it's a hell of a feat. It's a hell of an accomplishment. But no, I'm sorry. No, it's more to it than that. And once again, remember what I said earlier in the show when I said Kawhi Leonard won MVP? He was going against LeBron James. He was defending LeBron James. All right? Nobody that defended Michael Jordan in the finals ever won the finals MVP. You know why? Because Jordan.
Nobody that played Michael Jordan in the finals won finals MVP.
Yeah, because Jordan took that. Yeah, he took that. I'll take that. Hey, Mailman. I know. Carl Malone, Mr. Mailman. I know you're the MVP, but the mail don't deliver on Sundays. That's the type of guy that Michael Jordan was, and I didn't see LeBron do enough of that. I'm sorry. We'll get into it, though. Anybody that wants to do it, bring it. Please. Come on, let us know. You can give us, shout us out. Give me a call. The Great Debate Show. Online, hit me up on the hotline, 901-308-4916. Hit us up, man. But we're going to get on that for one last time on the next episode, and we'll let you know about any other news that's going on in the NFL, NBA, or any other sport that is relevant to us that we watch. If there's another sport that you would like for us to talk about more, again, it's the Great Debate Show. Hit us up, give us an inbox, shoot us up in the inbox, or give us a call at that number that I just said, 901-308-4916, and hey, we'll do it. Let's do it. That's all I got. Nick and Terrence, they say they don't have anything else, so we're gonna sign off. I'm gonna give it about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. Lamar Jackson will be an Atlanta Falcon, a Washington Commander, or there was one more team that I was thinking about. It's NFC though, because they don't want, or a Green Bay Packer. That's all I have for you. I do not think, and then the next great debate will be, should or shouldn't Terrence Smith remain a Baltimore Raven? What if we could get people to call in on that one? I've got Terrence saying screw the Ravens for 300. That would be classic. But Terrence doesn't want to hear any of this right now, I'm sure.
No.
I'm feeling for you, man, but I think it's gonna happen. I really do. I think he's disgusted. What did R. Kelly say? When a woman's fed up, when a quarterback is fed up, he's not. He is not. I think he's done with them. I think he is so done with them, and I think that's why it's so quiet. Because look, we shouldn't be hearing anything but breaking news. Lamar Jackson just broke the bank. That's all we should be hearing. There shouldn't be any rumors of this, and that. Well, we could tag him. Well, we could trade him. We could take this. No, just pay the man. They have yet to do that. So that's all we need to know on why he won't be a Raven much longer. All right, but that's it. We're done. Almost at the 90-minute mark. We appreciate everybody listening. Again, the Great Debate Show is available wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on YouTube Live. You can also check us out on Facebook and just scroll through and look at some of the things and some of the debates that we got going. Is it time for us to do a new NBA top 10 of all time? Maybe. How about a top 5 in every position in football? We've got a long off season to do it. Who's your top 5 middle linebackers of all time? Who's your top 5 tight ends of all time? Should we start putting people like Travis Kelce in that category already? Some think he's already a Hall of Famer, but sometimes I think that people just, as good as Kelce is, how soon do we forget Tony Gonzalez, the best tight end of all time, in my opinion? People are already trying to.
I ain't saying Travis the GOAT, but he's in that top 5.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's not in the top 5, but I guess the greater debate would be then, has he surpassed Gonzalez yet? Maybe that's what we should talk about.
That was not a debate yet.
Okay, all right. Well, we don't have a debate then, but he is definitely good, no doubt about it. But Gonzalez, yeah, he's an all-time great to me. He's the best that I've seen do it at that position. I'm not saying Kelce can't. Interesting, they were both Kansas City Chiefs, but Tony Gonzalez was still balling as an Atlanta Falcon. Oh my God. He was giving us fits in the 2012 NFC Championship. I'm like, man, when this dude gonna retire? And he could have came back. I think he really could have. He didn't, but he could have came back for another year. He could have kept playing. Hey, that was a bad boy now. Not saying Kelce isn't, but man, y'all got to go back and look at some tape for the youngins that don't really know Tony Gonzalez. For the people that just think that's a Fox analyst. Yeah, now.
No, bad dude.
Yeah, yes, sir. All right, that's it. I promise you now, we're done. Thank you all for listening again, and we'll be back next week for another one, unless something, major breaks. If so, we'll be coming right back at you. And maybe tomorrow night, look for a new episode also with me and Terrence as we break down Monday Night Raw, Elimination Chamber, what's going to happen for WrestleMania, the Bloodline story, all of that good stuff. And it's going to be more WWE than AEW. That's for certain. We hadn't talked about that in a while. I'll explain to you why we won't talk much about AEW. I'll stick with, for people that thought I was just an AEW guy, AEW bot, or whatever. No, I'll stick with what's good. And right now, WWE is good. And I say what I mean. I mean what I say. I keep it 100. If it's good, it's good. I'll watch it. It's good now. That Bloodline story is like, if they could get an Emmy for, yes, cinema, yes sir. Kudos to Triple H, man. If they could get an Emmy for this or an Oscar for this, they would get it. I'm telling you, they're doing great when it comes to the promos and all of that. I don't really care about the bell to bell. I'll go through some of the match if I'm not watching it live. But everything that they're doing leading up to it has been, I have no complaints at all. So we'll talk about that also next, probably tomorrow. And that's it. Yeah, we'll wait till after Tony Khan makes this week. I mean, huge announcement. Yeah, there you go. Yep. All right, so guys, that's it. We're out of here, and we'll be back. Watch out for the Clips, man. I almost said Clips in 6, but because of KD and the Phoenix Suns, and Denver being a real good complete team, I'm not going to get carried away here. But I want to say it so bad, but I don't believe it. I won't believe it. Yeah, damn going to root for him, though. Damn sure going to root for him. That's right. All right, that's it. We're done. Thank you all. Y'all be safe out there.
Yes, sir. Peace out, guys.
Get up.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long show. I know, we apologize. We go through a lot. We cover a lot. We only do one episode a week. We may need to start adding more episodes to minimize the time to these episodes also. But we covered everything under the sun, as you just heard me voice here. And that's it, the Great Debate Show. We'll be back tomorrow for the wrestling segment immediately after AEW Dynamite. So you can catch me back right here around 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central to talk about Tony Khan's huge announcement, whatever that may be. I don't think it'll be worth anything. And CM Punk rumors that he's coming back, or he's not coming back, or he's going to WWE. And again, what we stated with the Bloodline in the WWE. All right, that's it. Thank you. Y'all be safe.